When you think about credibility in medical media, I think that's a really important concept and a really important construct of what we do. And it's around trust. I mean, these are important. These are many times life and death messages that are going out that affect people really in their daily lives and in their today, but in their tomorrows as well. And there has to be that trust that what you're getting is authentic, that trust that what you're getting is true and sincere and can be relied on. So without it, I think we'd be in a very dangerous space in medical media.
Recently, mainstream media has paid a lot of attention to the importance of the source of information. I think this is incredibly important, particularly in publishing. So in the age of fake news, we're actually seeing a lot of that in publishing itself, as well as within medical publishing. So what we call internally is predatory journals or predatory publishers. These are so-called publishers that exploit the open access or author pays business model, where they will spam hundreds of thousands of researchers on any given day and invite them to submit to their fake journal. They will make false promises like the journal is supposedly indexed in, say, PubMed Medline, or it has a high impact factor, which is a measure of quality, when in point of fact, those are usually false statements. And so to the average consumer or average reader, they may not know whether or not the source of the information is credible and trustworthy. So I think this underscores the importance of peer-reviewed journals, especially those that are published by societies, where you have a journal that is well-established and trusted by the community, particularly those that are under the auspices of a society that places for the reader an additional layer of trust and credibility in the content they're reading.
In my role as VP of Media at CMI Compass, I work with various pharmaceutical brands in helping them reach their customers, target their customers, find their customers in order to deliver their messaging and help them save lives. We define credibility as it relates to medical publishing through reliability. If we see that a particular journal or particular ad or particular publisher that we're working with has a large following and more so a large engagement, and they have people that are continuously using their content, that's where we start to look at credibility, right? Because they're consistently providing value for their users and providing good quality content for their users. And how we better identify it for us is really in terms of engagement, right? And so if they're coming back to their content, whether it be monthly, weekly, depending on the publisher, the specific type of content, those bode to get different responses. We want to make sure that their users, their targeted users, are actually using their content and are truly repeat customers because they find the content so useful.
When you read something, you want to make sure that it's gone through the proper, stringent, scientific and medical rigor. You want it to be a peer-reviewed article. You want to make sure that their methods and their conclusion are correct, their statistical analyses are accurate. And how I figure this out is by utilizing reputable journals and publication sources.
For a consumer who is curious whether or not a journal is trustworthy, they ought to ask themselves, is the journal published by a reputable publisher? Is it backed by a society they're aware of? Do they recognize the people listed on the editorial board as people that are well known in the field? And then just some shortcuts they could take is to do a search on databases like Medline or PubMed, Scopus, or Web of Science, as those databases have their own rigorous standards to identify journals that are high quality in terms of their peer review process.